Hello, welcome to Word Empowerment Seminar this beautiful Thursday evening. My name is Murphy, and today at Word Empowerment Seminar, I'm going to be sharing with you three simple things you can do when you're in a crossroad. You know, a lot of times we get into situations in our lives where we are perplexed and we don't know what to do. It can be in our marriages, it can be in our businesses or in our careers. Difficult situations where you want to make a decision and you don't know the best decision to make. I want to share with you a three simple step process that will help you discover what to do. Welcome again to Word Empowerment Seminar. Now, this principle is gotten from the book of Luke chapter 11 verse 9, where Jesus said, "So I say to you, ask and you will receive, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened up to you. For everyone that asks receives, and to him that seeks finds, and to the one that knocks the door will be opened up to you." So that's a simple process. It can be applicable to different areas, but when you want to know what to do in a difficult situation, and I can even stake this out that within 3 days you will discover what to do. Why do I say within 3 days? Because Daniel, when he was in a perplexed situation, followed this simple process, and then he discovered what was Nebuchadnezzar's dream, even when he did not know the dream, and he gave the interpretation. So I bet if you do it sincerely from your heart, in 3 days' time, maximum, you will find out what to do. Let me give you a backstory to this, how I discovered it. When it came to my heart to come and start the church, the Lord, a thought came to my mind to actually give up everything I had, every resource I had. I gave up every resource I had. So it was a complexing thing because I had thought that the resources I had saved up would be very instrumental to me leaving what I was doing and going to start the church in Enugu. But somehow that thought came to my mind that I'm not supposed to go with any resource I had accumulated, and that was confusing. So I needed to clarify and ask God whether we should do this. So I followed this simple process, and I got a clear direction. And I will share that as I'm teaching on each of these steps. So the first is ask. Ask. And who are you asking here? I'm referring to asking God. Because God's wisdom is always the best wisdom. The Bible says that the thoughts of God are higher than the thoughts of men, and the ways of God are higher than the ways of men. So if you go with God's thoughts, you will always have the best results in the decisions that you make. So you have to ask God. In the book of James chapter 1 verse 5, the Bible says, "He that lacks wisdom should ask God, who gives freely without finding fault." The previous verse actually says that count it all joy when you suffer different trials and tribulations. In other words, when you face difficult situations, the way out of it is actually to get wisdom from God. And this says, ask God, who gives liberally without finding fault. So whenever you ask God for wisdom in a complex situation or when you're in a crossroad, God always gives you a clear direction. Ask. Now, if you go back to Luke chapter 11 verse 9, the Bible says, "Ask and you shall receive." We're going to say, everyone that asks receives. Everyone that asks receives. So when you ask God, you need to understand that once you ask God for wisdom, He's always willing to give you wisdom to settle every situation and to go to overcome or go make the right decision in the crossroad that you're experiencing. So sincerely from your heart, with simple faith, ask God, "I do not know what to do. Please give me direction." That simple prayer unlocks God's wisdom to you. But how will you then find the wisdom to make the decision? It goes to the next step. Seek. Seek and you will find. Seek and you will find. This was my experience that time. I asked God for clarity on what to do with that thought that came to me. Then after asking God, my antennas spiked up. And that is your act of faith. Let your antennas spike up. What I mean by antennas, that you will be attentive to anything that's happening in your environment, because God answers within your environment. He can use something that is has been in your pathway to work. Maybe you're driving to work. He can use something that has been in there right from time to tell you what to do. my own experience was this. I had asked God, what should I do? And how should I approach that task I was going to do? Because I was giving up everything I had to come and start the church. But after asking God, I was sincere, waiting for the answer. So my antennas were up. God, I'm waiting to hear you. Please tell me quickly. I'm waiting to hear you. So what happened was that one day I came back from work and I stepped into my house and the TV was on, and I felt like watching the TV, but it was Joyce Meyer that was on TV. I wanted to change the channel because not that I don't appreciate Joyce Meyer's ministry, but I'm a madman, so it's somewhat difficult for me to listen to Joyce Meyer sometimes. But somehow, someone just told me to just stick to it and listen to her. And as I started listening, the answer on what to do just came to me as she was speaking. I was just blown away. She told a story that she had when God called her to go into ministry and the mistake that she made. Immediately she told that story, I just knew that is exactly what I was supposed to do. It was like she was speaking to me directly. And that was just God opening up my eyes to see what to do. But how did I get there? It's because I was seeking that God would answer me and show me what to do from everything around my environment, even from the unlikely place. Even from the unlikely place, I would have thought of listening to someone like Crossroad, for instance. But it was Joyce Meyer that gave me that direct instruction on what to do. So, but it didn't just end there. It goes on for you to really understand the full context on what to do. You might have an idea, that gave me an idea, but to understand the full context of what to do, you must go ahead and then do the knocking. With the information you've gotten, you practice it. What I mean by practice it is this. So when I heard that information, I immediately just made up my mind that I'm going to take everything that I owned in terms of my resources, liquid resources, to give out. And immediately I made that decision, and my heart has shifted that this doesn't belong to me again. It became clear to me what to do in terms of who to give it to, how to give it, and when to give it. So the full detail appeared when I decided to go with what information I had gotten. So it is ask. Once you ask, the Bible says everyone that asks receives. Then seek is you just paying attention to everything that happens in your environment, because it's from your environment that God would actually give you insight on what to do. Then once you get that insight from what to do, start doing it. A lot of times in practice, it's when you have, for instance, when you have withdrawn the money and looking for where to give it to, that the clear direction on what the full information will come to you. So for me, it was when I just shifted my heart and see, this money I've given it all out, that the decision on what to do in terms of who to give it to, when to give it, and how to give it came to me. It was very clear. And when I gave it, the way it came to me to give it, I saw that it was the hand of God that was leading me. It was so evident by the experiences that I had in obeying that instruction, that it was God that was leading me. And that was just an experience. I have practiced this in several circumstances, several scenarios, and it works. It works. As a matter of fact, within 3 days, you will find it. That my experience, it was just the day I asked of it, and then the next day I got the clear direction on what to do. But I'm telling you, within 3 days, if you are confused at the crossroad, whether you should leave your marriage or you should stay in your marriage, or how will you get your spouse to behave rightly, ask and you will receive. Seek is that pay attention to everything around your environment. When you go to work, pay attention on how people respond to you. Pay attention to what your boss is saying. Pay attention to different things around you. Because you are seeking, you will find. Then when you find that insight, then you take that thing and decide to obey, and let me just say this, a lot of times that information that you get from seeking can be contrary to your normal way of behaving. You might not feel like doing that in the insight that you got, but once you do the insight, once you do it, it will become clearer to you that this is what you should have done, and the other things that involves that knowledge will come to you as well. So I want to encourage you, if you're in a crossroad, simply go to God and ask for wisdom. The Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 9 that let me just get that quickly. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, I think it's verse 9, yeah. So the labor of the fool wearies him because he does not know how to go to the city. Every other way that you're trying to solve your problems, especially if you're a Christian, or answer that question, will weary you. But if you just go through this process, it's easy. You won't get tired of it. Within 3 days, you will get an answer from God. And that answer will be the best decision that you will ever have made. I hope that helped you. This is WES Empowerment Seminar, and I'm Murphy. I would like to speak with you. If you need to talk with me, and if you have a question or you want me to pray with you and agree with you on something, please call me on this number, 0703 0099 275. You'll see that on the screen. Also, if you're calling from outside Nigeria, you have to put the +234. So thank you so much. God bless you, and may your best life be your daily experience.